Alright, have you ever heard about a guy named Bob? Now, Bob is not your average Joe. He's the kind of person who, when life gives him lemons, he makes lemonade, and then tries to plug it into an electrical socket to see if it will charge his phone. Bob once decided he'd become a vegetarian, but he didn't quite grasp the concept. So when he proudly announced he'd become a vegetarian, he was munching on a bacon sandwich. When someone pointed out that bacon comes from pigs, he paused, looked at the sandwich and said, "Well, I guess I'm a vegetarian who enjoys the occasional pig then." Bob's approach to life is, shall we say, unique. He once spent an entire weekend arguing with his GPS. Bob insisted that he knew a shortcut, and the GPS was just being stubborn. It ended with Bob driving into a cornfield, getting out of the car, and having a heated debate with a scarecrow about the best way to get to the nearest gas station. And then there was the time Bob decided to learn French. He bought a French dictionary and spent weeks studying it. But when he went to France, he was puzzled why nobody understood him. It turns out he'd been studying a French-Cantonese dictionary, so he was speaking French words in a Cantonese accent. Bob's attempts at romance are equally amusing. He once tried to serenade a girl by playing a saxophone outside her window. The only problem was, he'd never played a saxophone before. The result was a sound that was somewhere between a dying goose and a very surprised elephant. Bob is also an eternal optimist. He bought a lottery ticket and was absolutely convinced he was going to win. When the draw was made and he didn't win, he wasn't disappointed. He simply said, "Well, I guess the universe is saving something even better for me." Bob's world is a world where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, where logic takes a backseat to creativity, and where every day is an adventure. In his world, a simple trip to the grocery store can turn into a quest for the Holy Grail, and a chat with a telemarketer can become a battle of wits worthy of Sherlock Holmes. So to wrap up, we've journeyed through the world of Bob, a man who turns the mundane into the hilarious, who sees the world through a lens of joyful absurdity. He's a vegetarian who eats bacon, a man who argues with his GPS, a would-be linguist who studies the wrong dictionary, a hopeless romantic with a saxophone, and an eternal optimist who sees the brighter side of everything. In the end, we can all learn a thing or two from Bob. Not necessarily how to navigate life effectively, but certainly how to navigate it with a smile. And remember, if life gives you lemons, don't just make lemonade. Try plugging it into an electrical socket. You never know, it